I guess we're fucking doing this now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Them poking out the nips. I sealed Saki's mouth with a kiss. You guys wanted this. I didn't want a Monka TOS right off the bat. And so I die. I felt Saki's soft lips make contact with mine. Hot breath spilled out from the corners of my mouth. Yeah, we didn't fucked ourselves now. She said my name as though it were spilling from her lips. I kissed her again in response. Yes, this is what I wanted to do. Even I had always wanted this. Why didn't I do it? I'm sure there was a reason. Why was it? Oh. We're not even doing crazy things yet. Completely unable to remember, I ran my hands along Saki's body. The body I'd taken care not to touch for so long was soft and smooth. It's over. It's over. Right out the bat, it's done. She tried to cover them with her arms, but I slipped past them and reached for her bra. It seems a little bad. I ran my hands from her cheek to her chin, from her neck to her mouth. Saki trembled each time she felt my touch. A sweet smell came from Saki's body. It smelled like honey and sweets, but not only that, she also smelled like trees. Maybe it was some sort of body wash. The smell made me dizzy. You guys remember? You guys... Saki. Saki put her hand behind my neck. We kissed as we called each other's names. A meltingly sweet black tea scented kiss. A sweet aroma. The scent of a dense forest. I'm so fucked. Saki was in front of me and looked up at me with moist, watery eyes. And so I was lost in the dream forever. She held me tight. Not anymore. Unable to answer, I sought after Saki. Wrapped in the sweet aroma, I felt only a desire to seek Saki. Not just my head, felt my whole body was dizzy. I was unable to tell the difference between me and Saki and the air and the bed and the smell anymore. My surroundings grew dark and I couldn't see very well. I smelled nothing but the scent of that deep forest. Unable to sense Saki's presence. Merely wrapped in a sweet, gentle air, I sank. Goodbye. Oh, well, this is... and fell. Oh, that ended up being a little TOS. And by Maya. All right, we rectified that situation. I actually up until the face reveal actually happened, I wasn't really paying attention too much to that it was Maya. Like in my brain, I was like, her breast should be bigger. Like in my brain, and I was like, I looked and I was like, her hair should be longer. But I don't really I don't know why my brain was disconnected for that entire time. Probably because there were nipples in my fucking face. Okay, anyway, it stopped me when I got here, so fuck it. We'll just go do this. I opened those dream doors and stepped into the room where Maya was. Maya was giggling like she always did, but in this dark room, it was a little scary. I snapped my fingers and turned the lights on. The room became bright all at once. Yeah, it's a pretty nice evening. Maya didn't look at least a bit surprised that I was suddenly here. Like hell, it's a nice night. She's still giggling. She tilted her head. You appearing all of a sudden, me being saved by Alice, us ending up spying on Saki's dream. If I had the nerve to enjoy all that, I'd be able to live a much easier life. Oh my god. So you guys wanted unseeable ever before dialogue, so I'm showing it to you. This is like right before the decisions, isn't it? Seeing you wasn't my goal for coming here. With my hands in my pockets, I looked around the room. It was the usual ornate, luxurious, clean, unsettling room. Even so, or perhaps precisely because of that, Maya's current outfit matched the room very well. I came to quickly end the stream. Maya narrowed her eyes and sneered. It wasn't her usual pasted-on smile, but instead the smile of a fox or a cat who found her prey. Why do I want to end it? I can't continue having the stream, that's all. A nightmare where Maya appeared at random and somehow managed to get Saki involved? Shh, I had neither the patience nor the stamina to deal with this. If things went on like this, I would definitely collapse before long. Using my awesome dream powers. If what I thought about this dream was true, then this should change it a lot. With a deep breath, I prepared to say what I had decided before I came here. I'm going to give up on you, Maya. I don't know. I've done it before in other routes. Even though, maybe it's all meta and crazy where, yeah, I gave up on her in the other routes, but in the end, she always keeps coming back, and that's what it's trying to tell me. It's not a matter of can. I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to do it because it was my responsibility. I was going to do it because I could. I was going to do it because I believed I had to. But Maya continued to giggle. I'm prepared. Also, if you haven't noticed, Saki is in fact the mouse now. I'm listening. I didn't think it was going to be anything good, but I couldn't ignore her. I got the feeling that I had to listen, and although Maya often said cruel things, they often contained hints. Maya seemed to enjoy seeing my conflicting feelings. Of course it isn't. I had tried to forget about Maya many times over the years. Oh, Jesus. Aware of what? I suddenly got the feeling that I was forgetting something. 'Cause, yeah. But I had a premonition that something terrible might happen if I remembered. Should I ask or not? Completely ignoring my turmoil, Maya went on. Dude, this game's about to get like 5,000 times more trippy. What did you just say? And that it has. Oh my god. The shape of Maya's giggling mouth changed little by little. My spine grew colder and colder. I don't think he actually remembers, to be honest. Dude, this is getting so trippy right now. She's like, she knows. Wait, that's...
だ思い出せていないのかしら。本当にかわいそうなお兄ちゃん。
This is fucked. Oh my god. おっ
けどね、そんなに気にしなくてもいいのよ。
Maya's hand gently touched my cheek.
ここで思い出したって余計に絶望しちゃうだけなんだから。
At this point, yeah, I could agree with you on that one.
だから必要な時が来るまで忘れさせてあげるわ。だってそうしないと。前に誰を選んだのか、それを引きずりすぎちゃうものね。
Oh, what do you mean? I didn't have to ask. I could see a face in my mind's eye. It was someone who had been very important to me. Before I could realize who that
だ
was.
からもう少し私のお話に付き合ってちょうだいね、お兄ちゃん。
Oh, Jesus. A sweet smell came from Maya. The smell of roasted honey mixed with the scent of dense forest and flowers. Wait, Maya! At this rate, Maya was going to really make me forget everything. I had to do something. Then just then... I don't... What does this mean? Wait. Wasn't... Dude, I'm lost. What? Dude, I didn't expect to be here. I expected to just go about my business, living my fucking life. Like, whose face am I recalling? Am I recalling one of the previous routes? By the way, this is really interesting how this whole time she's been making us forget all the shit we did. Like all the other dreams, and that's why we're starting over. That's really interesting. But anyway, I remember him talking about the blue sky during, like, normally. Oh god, I don't want to make like a decision where I like fuck everything up. I have a feeling what? Dude, I don't know, man. I'm like actually lost. I'm like actually speechless. I have no idea what to do. I might have to actually look up a hoozle for this one. Only because I don't want to stray from a path or end up on a thing that I'm not supposed to at this point. You know what I mean? So I'll just check it out. Okay, I'm back, and this, if I if I remember, or what I was reading told me that actually leads to Alice's true route, or not leads. Well, you have to make that choice to get on that true route. But, like, I haven't even done Alice's route yet. But I guess it doesn't matter, because all you need to do is complete the game, like, twice. So, we're just... Dude. So we're just gonna recall her face. My vision slowly went dark. I tried to recall the face of the one most important to me, but I couldn't make her out. Maya, I was unable to remember who it was.
きっとお兄ちゃんはまだそこには行けないのね。それはとても悲しいけれど。
Maya's voice was gentle.
けれど幸せな夢ならその方がいいに決まってるわ。大丈夫。私なら何度だって付き合ってあげる。お兄ちゃんが何回繰り返したいと思っても、私はずっと一緒にその夢を見てあげるわ。だから。
I could hardly hear her voice now. No.
おやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。今日もいい夢をね。
What is this fuckery? Unable to resist, I slowly closed my eyes. Man, that was some crazy insanity. Not as crazy. It's worse than what I was about to tell you. So, I wanted to do this scene. Well, I am doing the scene anyway, because, you know, this is when she asks us if we're interested in anybody. And, you know, we do this one for Saki. But right when I clicked this, I accidentally did the gesture thing like I did in an actual recording. So it's going to be like, and I was freaking the fuck out. Because for some reason it was skipping shit, even though it's not supposed to skip unread text. So I was just like how I did before, so I was freaking out. And it went on for a little bit. Let's just say that. So I'm gonna just, but it's stuff we haven't seen before, so don't mind if you see like a fucking, oh, he's read it before, cause trust me, I haven't. I do everything blind. as to my own dismay sometimes. Alright, you know her. Instantly no. I don't know what you're imagining, but of course I'd be interested in her. I was causing trouble for her. I felt guilty about it, both jokingly and seriously. There was no way I wouldn't be thinking about her. Knowing him, probably. Yeah, dismissing like that would certainly be the easy way out. You're aware that you're a piece of shit. Oh, why do you look so surprised? While I was gone. Why did I have to be told things like this by Maya? She wasn't even beside me anymore. I broke into a cold sweat, and this was something born from my own subconsciousness. You have no right to tease me about that. Maya had been running her hand along my face and neck. I violently grabbed that hand as if to say it was annoying. Wow, you need to calm down. I thought myself pathetic for even considering allowing her to continue like that. Because you know the reason Saki and I are like this is, well, because... Feels bad. For a moment, Maya's voice turned serious. But she quickly returned to the same grin she'd been wearing before. Her hand slipped out of mine as though I hadn't grabbed it at all. And so, everyone's favorite character is Maya. Did those words make me happy or scared? From where? From my brain mind. Oh, she walked around me and hugged me from behind. Ugh, give me a break. My voice was surprisingly weak, or embarrassingly weak. I heard her step onto the floor behind me. Oh, when she does the laugh, Maya's laughter got on my nerves. To me, it was the sound of temptation. Oh, god damn it. Dude, Maya, man, I swear to God. Also, all this is different, too. Like I said, it kept going for a long time before I realized, or not realized, before I actually stopped the... Because I was just like, what do I do? Because I forgot. And then I woke up. My alarm had yet to ring. As I slowly opened my eyes, I saw my normal apartment. And almost as if on cue, came my usual wake-up headache. Ugh. Plus, I felt like Maya's laughter was still ringing in my ears. Could you imagine? Like, hearing her laughing just constantly? At this rate, it was only a matter of time before I collapsed. Waking up from this kind of dream on the morning of my day off left me feeling far from refreshed. I had wanted to sleep a little longer, but instead I woke up close to the time I would be leaving for during a school day. There we go, brain. Wonder if Maya was planning to become my alarm clock from now on. God, I hope not. Guess I'll get up. With a groggy, grumpy feeling, I couldn't quite put it into words. I got out of bed. I no longer had the energy to go back to sleep. You need energy for that one. Oh, hello? Where am I? Oh, Jesus. I think this is... we're getting close to when I actually was able to stop it. Yeah? I ate a simple breakfast of toast and some canned stuff. What do you mean canned stuff? What? After that, despite it being my day off, I had some work to do for the science club. Namely, drop a diagram for the new parts of the robot we were going to make. And then the doorbell rang. And who the it wasn't even noon yet. Who the hell could it be? Tetsuya, who would undoubtedly be on a date with Asagi. Who would come all the way up to my fucking apartment on the top floor? Ah, there it is. See? I told you guys. I'd imagine that no salesperson would want to approach a building owned by the Hasuno family. Wait, why not? As I was pondering over this, the door suddenly unlocked and opened. Here she got me up. The one most of you were excited to do route 4, brain. Morning, Saki. Wait, don't just unlock the door even though you don't know whether I'm awake or not. Just as I thought, it was Saki. Or should you say an actual legitimate reason? Legitimate reason? You always take out the key and come inside without permission. But I couldn't bring myself to drive her away when she came in on a day off. Whatever, come on in. I was like, we? Saki turned to the side. I barely had time to wonder what was going on before... Damn. This is gonna suck when we actually get in a romantic relationship with her. With Saki, of course, not Takahara-san. It was Takahara-san! You're frightening. The one standing there was the woman who was the manager of Hasuno Security Services and Saki's chaperone. Mia Takahara-san. Maya! No. She had a really cute given name, so if you didn't call her by her surname, she'd get a little mad. Oh no, I was just surprised because I thought Saki was alone, and then you popped up out of nowhere, and it was a rather frightening experience. Just desperately hiding my dismay, I invited them into my apartment. I'm just saying it. I was surprised. Not at all. Please come inside. Ugh, dodge a bullet there. Why had Takahara-san come so suddenly? Just then I noticed why Saki had said, "I'm glad you're awake." What would have happened if I'd been asleep? I didn't even want to think about it. The two of them entered my apartment, and I immediately started boiling water. I couldn't stand either silence or conversation, and I wanted to look like I was doing something. I couldn't stand both silence and conversation. Jesus. Sorry, it's just what Saki brought. But will this tea be okay?
お構いなく。今日は遊びに来たわけじゃありませんから。
Oh, though she said today Takahara-san had never actually come to hang out, so I was hoping it was just the usual.
それで兄さんは何してたの？
Sleeping, woke up, work for club. We're determined to make one more before the third years graduate. You know, Takahara-san had said not to mind them, but that didn't mean I could stop boiling water. Saki sat next to the spot where I usually sat on the sofa, aka her spot. Takahara-san remained standing and looked around the room. What is this room? So, what brings you here? I had a pretty good idea, but I wanted to make sure. I already had a bad feeling about this, but that was if this was just the usual deal. Considering that Saki had slept over, there was a chance that this was going to get worse.
社長の代わりに内藤君の生活態度をチェックしに来ました。
I'm living, you know. I breathed a sigh of relief. It was the usual. Oh, thank God. Saki's dad, who was the landlord of this place, was kind of acting as my guardian in place of my busy parents. Takahara-san glanced at the desk I had been working at. On the monitor was an image I was drawing, and various diagrams were scattered on the desk.
とりあえず部活動なら勉強の一環でしょうし、そうビクビクしなくても構いません。
Is that so? Well, the water was boiling, so I was about to get out some packs of green tea, but Takahara-san suddenly reached out toward my desk.
それで、これは何ですか？
Oh Jesus, what? Oh no, don't my pills! She picked up some pills in a Ziploc bag. In other words, they were the sleeping pills I got from Club Prez. Saki, who up until now had been the one of us most at ease, turned her sharp gaze toward me. Ah, jeez. They're sleeping pills. I hadn't explained in detail about lucid dreaming and so forth, but Takahara-san knew that I had visited doctors regarding sleep disorders since I was a child. So it wasn't odd for me to have sleeping pills. She understood that, but...
最近病院に行ったという話は来ていませんけど。
You see, I got a contact. That was only the case when I got them through the proper channels. They're leftovers from a long time ago. Yeah.
残り。へえ、そうなんだ。へえ。それで兄さん、なんで声が硬いのかしら？
She just... Saki was one thing, but I couldn't let Takahara-san know that Club Prez had been supplying me. I didn't want to trouble her, and I was only able to receive them because we kept it a secret between us. Saki got mad at me before when she found out at that time, and I had promised that I wouldn't get them anymore. Well, but I still got them. Sometimes. I mean, it's not like they were illegal, so it wasn't much of a problem if Takahara-san found them, but they're really not anything strange.
そんなものに手を出していたら抜けるまで監禁部屋ですよ。
It's...
あの部屋ですか。
Did she mean the storage room in the Hasuno house that we had been told as kids never to go near? This was why old houses were scary. As I briefly escaped reality with thoughts of that storage room, Saki stood up and walked up to me.
今日来てよかったみたいね。兄さん。
No! No! Saki glared up at me from below with a frighteningly angry-looking smile. She had her hands behind her and pressed her body against mine. She was soft and smelled good, but I didn't have the presence of mind to actually enjoy it. Well, yeah, you know, like, a lot of stuff has happened recently, and,
あったから様子を見に来たのよ。ね、高原さん。
ええ、そうですね。お嬢様も泊まりに来ていたようですし。
Still smiling, Takahara-san looked over at me.
お嬢様は何もなかったって言ってましたけど、基本的に内藤君の味方ですから、自分の目で確認しないと気が済まなくて。
That's not something you should just say while smiling. Doesn't that mean that you don't trust me?
本当になかったら泊まりになんて行かせるわけないでしょ。なくすとしたらこれからです。
It's very much like I don't think you're gonna do something, but you still might sort of thing, you know? You won't need to, and don't worry, I'm clean and sober.
それはこれから調べますから。口ではいくらでも言えますからね。
We're gonna run some tests. Oh no. Somehow Takahara-san's gaze grew even scarier than usual. Hey Saki, did you say something to Takahara-san? I asked Saki in a low voice. She had moved away from me, but was still giving me a frustrated look.
さあ、兄さんと同じベッドで寝たことくらいしか言ってないけど。
From the bottom of my heart, I wanted to run away. But if I did that, it would be like admitting to a sin that I never actually committed. Feeling something of an aura from Takahara-san, which seemed even more powerful than usual, I prayed that my innocence would be proven
と
soon.
言っても家探しをするわけじゃないです。いつも通り。そう。いつも通りのお片付けの手伝いですよ。
Yeah, sure. The usual. Takahara-san flashed me a brilliant smile. I smiled back, but I probably had a terrified looking smile. Oh, it's like the... Oh, it's doing the slow. It's like the smile where you're just... Yeah. There was actually no real need to worry. Takahara-san didn't search the apartment in any crazy... in any crazy upending the world kind of way. One of the reasons my apartment was so clean was because of these occasional inspections she called cleaning. For Takahara-san, she effectively saw herself as my guardian, so she made it a point to ensure that I was developing into a decently responsible adult. Yeah, you know what? I'm doing fine. Aside from her obsessive sisterly feelings toward Saki, which went far and beyond just being her chaperone, I did actually consider Takahara-san as a very reliable adult.
この本はどこに置けばいいんですか？
I need that for the diagram I'm drawing, so don't put it away, please. It didn't particularly bother me if she checked to see if there was anything suspicious as she picked things up.
そもそも兄さんは悪いことをしようと思えば夢の中で事足りるものね。
That's true. That's where I get all the bad out. But if I've never experienced it, then all I can do is imagine what it would be like in my dreams. Moreover, I didn't have any real hobbies other than building things, though I could never get into cooking. Why not? Cooking's great. I think part of the reason I was barely able to keep Takahara-san's trust was because I wasn't interested in any bad things either. What are you doing, Saki?
見ての通り、お片付けを手伝ってるんじゃないの。
I bet you're not helping cleaning at all. Saki was lying. Unlike Takahara-san, she was actually searching the apartment. For a while now, she had been examining my things carefully. She wasn't messing anything up, so that was good, but Takahara-san probably wasn't comfortable letting Saki involve herself with something as menial as cleaning. But she was inclined to let Saki do whatever she wanted. Well, there weren't many things that I would care if anyone saw, or that anyone would care that I even owned.
ところで兄さん、これは一体どういうことかしら。
Here we fucking go. Here we go. Just as I thought that, I noticed Saki looking at me with a strange aura around her. That's... Yeah! What are you holding?
お嬢様、何かありましたか？
Oh no. What? Saki was holding what would best be described as a pornographic magazine. Who uses porn mags? and I had put them in the drawer specifically so Saki wouldn't spot them.
なんでこういうの持ってるの？トルちゃんはそんなの持ってないと思ってたのに。
I'm a growing man, alright? She was so disturbed that she forgot to call me Nissan. What are you basing that belief on?
だって夢で片付けてると思って。
Wait, you think I just wank off in my fucking dreams? No, that's stupid. Don't open it, don't look at it! Saki seemed to be confused after having found a container filled with porno mags and DVDs. Oh, okay, so I got DVDs. Still, who the fuck? You just look on the internet.
お嬢様、あんまりそういったものに触ってはいけません。汚れますよ。
You also don't know what's actually on those. Takara-san gently took the magazine from Saki and gently put it back in the drawer. I saw the tainted part coming a mile away, but I thought Takara-san would give me a look like I was an insect, but she didn't. Huh? Is that okay? You're not gonna scold me, or?
あのね、内藤くんくらいの年頃だったら持っていたって普通でしょ。興味のある年頃でしょうし。
As long as your attention is directed away from Saki, we're all good. Takara-san said that like it was common sense. Really, as long as Saki wasn't involved, she was actually pretty understanding. Here we go.
むしろそういうもので存分に発散して、お嬢様に接するときは常に枯れていてほしいくらいです。
So you'd be dry. Thanks? I think?
大丈夫ですよ。そんなことしなくても兄さんに変なことはされていませんから。まだ。
Why would you add the yet?
まだ
Yo, now I'm gonna get in trouble. Takara-san, who had been standing right next to me, had me up in the air by my collar in an instant. I bet she does it one-handed. Saki! Yeah, you didn't need to do that! Takara-san! Have I ever done anything weird to Saki?
ないから今こうして満足に生きていられるんですよ。わかっていますよね。
I require death.
本当にその辺の他の女でも手段問わず捕まえてとっとと満足してしまえばいいのに。
Oh my god, the way she said that. What do you mean by all means?
最初は無理やりでもいいんですよ。当然お嬢様以外限定ですけど。
It's fine if you had to force her. That's just horrible.
兄さん、無理やりとか、そういう趣味なの？
Still, I imagine she's lifting me up into the air and I'm just... Saki was looking back and forth between me and the porno mags while blushing. Now hold on! What kind of porno was it? That's very important. Of course not. What kind of popular jeez. What kind of opinion do you have of me? Saki said. She was obviously trying to hide her embarrassment by showing how calm she was before she returned to cleaning my apartment. As she hesitated about what to do with the magazines next to her, Takara-san sighed from beside me.
しかしどうしてこんなことになったのか。これなら内藤君はうちのビルに住まわせない方が良かったような。
What do you mean it would have been better? Oh, I think so too. I didn't think I'd end up having so little privacy. I started living by myself when I graduated from the annex building because my parents' house was being renovated. Then Saki declared that she was going to hang out regularly at my apartment. I had politely declined, of course, but she didn't give a shit. No matter how much I didn't seem to like it, Saki would probably keep coming as long as I didn't end up hating her.
そういった意味では内藤君の方が分別を守ってると言えるんでしょうか。
Yeah, I believe I kept them from the beginning. But since Saki was defenseless and innocent, and I was quite aware of that, I was treated quite poorly. The only reason Takara-san hadn't killed me was because I kept my wits and didn't embrace the fact that Saki was coming over. And after a few other little incidents, I ended up renting this apartment. No matter what, Saki was gonna hang out at my apartment, so rather than the sort of place that a student of my means could afford, they felt more at ease if I lived in an apartment building that they owned. And as a result, I lost my privacy.
お嬢様に関わらないプライベートに立ち入る気はありませんから、安心していいですよ。
The problem was that my privacy was almost entirely occupied by Saki. Hey, Saki, you're wearing a skirt! Be careful! Saki's skirt had gotten caught on something as she crawled around my apartment, and I could almost...
兄さん、見えた？
Why did I even point it out? Oh, that's just gonna get me killed. Especially in this... I saw them. I questioned the wisdom of red and black at her age, but I wasn't stupid enough to say it out loud. Red and black underwear, huh? I don't see a problem. Yep.
いい度胸ですね。
He
ライト君。
really does. He pointed it out, and I sensed Nakara-san standing up. All I did was warn her! And so, what on earth should I have done? Not said anything. If only this were a dream. But the sky was too clear and bright. It was like the world was trying to tell me that this was the reality I was living. Oh my god, dude. Well, that was a silly thing and a half, wasn't it? Dude, we didn't even get to like... Oh,
い
good.
つだったか
Ouch.
気楽に生きていたいって言ったじゃない。
We already saw this.
ほんと不器用よね。
I...
できないことをしたいだなんて
Why, you just...
無理なんでしょ。気楽に過ごすなんて
I know.
本当に口ばっかり。気楽に生きるための努力で神経すり減らしてたんじゃたまったもんじゃないわ。
Who am I to just stop
そ
her?
れのどこが気楽な生き方よ。
What kind of rude person would I be?
だけどそうしなければならない。誰に言われたわけでもなく、自分がそうしているのが楽だから。ええ、そうね。わかってる。
Just,
私たちってもしかして似てるのかしら。それとも全然似てないのかしら。
There we go. I couldn't just not let her talk. That would have been rude. We're not even at like all the big shit. That was just a giant scene. Amazing scene, by the way. A couple of amazing scenes. That just came out like I didn't expect them because I thought it was just gonna be like, all right, you make these decisions and then the stuff later changes. No, this was very much right off the bat. That's crazy talk. I like it. Now, I think next time we'll get into those big major decisions, I think. I mean, some of those were made. You know what I mean? The big scenes. The big scenes.